So, hey, thanks for tuning in, guys. We're all in this for one thing, wrestling. Hello, wrestling fans. Welcome to OneWrestling.com. You know me, Andre Corbeil, your official Impact Wrestling OneWrestling.com reporter at the home of the legendary icon, the one and only Bill Apter. Yes, we'll see you at the matches, fans. So we're here to start it off and give you guys your March 6th, 2015 TNA Impact Wrestling One Wrestling report from Andre Corbeil from Manchester, England, where we basically had championship implications in tonight's main event. Yes, as we panned into the Beatdown Clan in the ring, ultimately being cut off by the voice of the people who came down the aisleway, down through the stairs, through the people, Drew Galloway. Now, Drew says you're not just screwing with the champ, you're not just screwing with the fans, you're screwing with Drew Galloway. Now, he did add that he will indeed provide the voice for wrestling fans in Impact Wrestling and around the world for that matter. As he said, he's at home and that this is a place for wrestling fans, not sports entertainment fans, but wrestling fans. Now, in a nutshell, Kenny King grabbed the mic and he ended up piping off, ultimately challenging him to a match. And yes, we get him versus Galloway in Galloway's first debut match in Total Nonstop Action Wrestling and the first match of the night, as they both went one-on-one in an impressive in-ring debut for Drew, and the victory ultimately over Kenny King via his Future Shock DDT finisher, and Drew makes the stand ultimately complete in his debut match. Now, furthermore, outside of the episode, TNA President Dixie Carter gave Drew Galloway full control of TNA and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling social media for this whole weekend, wrestling fans. So make sure to tweet at Galloway Speaks, at Impact Wrestling, and share your voice for what you want in TNA and things you'd like to happen. So these are exciting times, and the company is indeed listening to the fans. So don't waste this opportunity, wrestling fans. Get on the horn and tweet Drew. Now, we then had an in-ring promo that built up the main event as Bobby Roode cut a short promo in the ring. Angle ultimately came out, and of course, the final combatant in this three-way in the main event tonight, EY, Eric Young, came out. Now, in a nutshell, this ended in a Donnybrook brawl by all three, and to be honest with you, I couldn't wait to find out who the number one contender would be before for the Destroyers TNA World Heavyweight Championship title next week. Now, unfortunately, Destination America, they played a little ad reel that kind of spoiled it for the fans, so that wasn't very cool, but I was able to get past it. We then got a sick Kong and Taryn Terrell reel building their title match up later for tonight, and I'm really loving this division right now, wrestling fans. Comment below if you are too. Now, we then followed that up with Bram and James Storm congregating backstage as Storm looked to be trying to recruit the Crazy One and basically telling him that if he helps the Revolution, that he'll never have to have another regret again, because there's always room for one more in the Revolution. Now, he basically asked Bram here to take out Matt Hardy, and this was our next match. It was a good match that saw Matt Hardy have some solid chances here for victory, but ultimately the momentum of Bram was not to be denied here, wrestling fans, as Bram puts the cold-blooded one away with his brighter side of suffering finisher. Now, he tries to finish him off afterwards with the ring wrench, and this was to no avail, because what did we get, wrestling fans? We got the return of Magnus, who put a stop to all of this, grabbing the mic after he pounded Bram and telling him that he will not fold, and he's going to get his hands on Bram in the name of his family, and says that this is personal and that Bram's blood will indeed stain the hallowed ground of England. We then had the Rockstar Spud assuring Ken Anderson that he was going to be a man tonight, and Kenny says to him, I'm with you, Spud. I'm with you, buddy. Now, we followed that up with a reel to catch fans up within the EC3 Spud feud, and it's eventually going to mean one of the two men's hairs gone. Now, they're both in the ring, and Rockstar Spud tells him, I'm not a lion, I'm not a gazelle, but I'm a man. Ultimately, this led to Rockstar Spud challenging EC3 to a hair match that EC3 gladly accepted, as Spud vowed to have and shave EC3 bald. But Ethan reminded him at the end of this promo that in this world, bad guys are the ones that win. So this looms, wrestling fans, and the only question at the end of the day that remains is, who's going to be the one that's bald here? We're going to have to wait and see, fans. Now, we rolled into our Knockouts title match as Awesome Kong took on the hot mess and champion, Taryn Terrell, the gorgeous Taryn Terrell. Now, she didn't back down at all against the monster here tonight, and we all know Awesome Kong is an immovable object, and this is exactly what she was tonight. It was no different as she threw she threw the champ around like a rag doll, wrestling fans. But Taryn's got the heart, and she kept coming, but it was to no avail, as she was literally dominated by the most dominated TNA knockout ever. But Andre Corbeil's going to digress on that one. Now, Taryn attempted her Taryn cutter, her finisher, repeatedly here, as Kong ultimately powered out of it repeatedly. I believe it was 3 times. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong here. At the end of the day, Kong's rage ended up getting her disqualified for manhandling the referee, aka Earl Hebner, as she brutalized Taryn afterwards outside the ring, viciously smashing her into the ring steps and ultimately going to hit the implant buster on the outside. But that's not what we got, because Gail Kim put a stop to it just in time. And to be honest, the greatest feud in TNA Knockouts history is starting to heat up again in 2015, and Andre Corbeil can't wait, as these two women brawled it up the rampway like animals, and I loved it, to be honest with you. And the quest for the gold continued as the Revolution defend their tag team titles against the former champions, the Wolves, Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards, who looked phenomenal here tonight. I can't even stress it to you, fans. Make sure to go watch the match. They were on fire here. Now, the unfortunate part of this all was they had the numbers game against them with the Revolution and their interference on the outside. But you know the score, you know the drill. Too many cooks always spoil the pot, as we saw Sonata ultimately green mist by accident taking out Manic here. So, like I said, the Wolves were on fire here. I was really hoping that they were going to pull the win out and regain the titles that they had lost to the Revolution. And we factor in a little bit of help from Matt Hardy, who came down, basically giving the challengers that little bit of opening they needed, and coming in and hitting a twist of hate on Abyss. Now, this staggered Abyss and allowed the Wolves to hit the stomp and ultimately finish him off, as we have new World Tag Team Champions, and that was awesome. Like, this was match of the night. Comment below and let Andre Corbeil know if you as well thought this was match of the night. Especially I was excited because I'm in the midst of booking Davey Richards for the RCW promotion that I ring announce and am a co-booker for. So, hey, maybe I'll have the one half of those TNA World Tag Team Championship titles on my shoulder for an interview coming at you guys very soon. So, I'm going to congratulate the Wolves on becoming the new TNA World Tag Team Champions, and indeed the man that helped them tonight, Matt Hardy, congratulated them backstage, asking for a title shot when his brother Jeff indeed gets better, with the champs agreeing. Now, this Impact was definitely running on all cylinders tonight, and I really enjoyed the show from start to this point. Now, we're not done yet, wrestling fans, as we rolled into our triple threat main event match for the #1 contendership. And wrestling fans, I'm sure you were asking yourselves coming into this match, would the hatred between Bobby Roode and Eric Young be the ultimate opening that Kurt Angle needed to gun for the Destroyer and his TNA World title next week? We're gonna have to check this out, and I'm gonna let you guys know. Now, this match was pretty good. We got a Tower of Power, and ultimately the high spot of this match was we had 10 sick German suplexes from Kurt Angle on Eric Young, who you have to give credit for taking all of them consecutively, mind you. We had a few ankle locks too as well. Now, Not to say that Bobby Roode didn't look good, because he did look good throughout this match, but ultimately, in a nutshell, it was EY who hammered Roode on the outside like this with a chair, as Roode tried to grab him over the ropes with a chair. Now, this was shortly after a ref bump, and it allowed Angle to clear EY off of the apron to the outside, hit an angle slam on a dazed Bobby Roode, ultimately leading to the 1, to the 2, to the 3 win and status of being your new #1 contender for Bobby Lashley and the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, who rolls out at the end of the show, comes down in the ring, gets in Angle's face as the two superstars locked eyes. And this is a great way to build it up and lead it into next week, because the fact of the matter, the TNA World Heavyweight Champion and the Olympic Champion had never faced each other in the past. So this is going to complete this and give us something we've never had before. As I said, they've never battled in history. So next week should be a doozy from London's Wembley Arena, as we panned out from a rock-solid TNA Impact Wrestling show from Manchester. Now, before I sign out this week, I'd like to send a shout-out to my homeboy, Aaron, a.k.a. Nightwing, on Twitter. Thanks for all your support, my friend, and the shows, all of Ray and I's efforts, all of Bill Apter's efforts, all of us at OneWrestling.com's efforts would be null and void. So thank you, and thank everybody for all your support for what we do for you guys, because we're knowledgeable, we're passionate wrestling reporters. We know each and every one of you guys supporting our social media networks and getting the news, the straight goods, are knowledgeable, passionate wrestling fans as well, tuning in worldwide. We're going to do this tried, tested, and true for you, and we ain't going to stop, because we're all in this for one thing, wrestling. And as my mentor says, we'll see you at the matches. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Bye-bye.
Hey, everybody. This is Davey Boy Smith Jr. You're watching OneWrestling.com with Andre CORBEIL. We'll see you at the matches.
This is the Dog of War, Jesse Neal, and we're with Andre CORBEIL, and you're watching OneWrestling.com. See you at the matches.
We're all in this for one thing, the wrestling. See you at the matches.
And let's point at the camera like Bill Apter does and say, we'll see you at the matches.
We'll see you at the matches. I'm sorry, guys.